Hello there and welcome to ADcraft. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this amazing floating futuristic base, and there's a full world download available for you as well. These are the materials that you'll need to collect to build this base. The base takes up a space of 71 square by 33 high, but given it's in the sky you should have plenty of space to put this anywhere you like. Firstly, we're going to need to find and create our starting block. So once you've either pillared it up from the floor or set the appropriate block, we're going to come to the center here and we're going to place ourselves a lightning rod. On top of that lightning rod, we're going to place a sea lantern. And around that sea lantern, we're going to come out by 2 blocks on each side with some stained glass. I'm going to be using the cyan here. And then we're going to fill each of those in to create this thick cross, which is going to be the basis that we're going to be working from. As this build contains some quite complicated shapes, and to speed up the video, I am going to be showing you it in quarters. Now the first quarter that we're going to be placing is going to go from here to here, and we're going to use some temporary blocks in order to do that. We're going to get some cyan stained glass, and we're simply going to follow the edge round here first, so it's just touching on the very corner of the blocks we've placed. And we're then on each of these 2 sides, we're going to place ourselves 2 more glass sticking out. Now take that quarter and repeat it all the way round. For the next level, we are going to be covering the entire section with a floor. So we're going to bring this towards the middle. In the middle block, we're going to have a sea lantern, and then bring this out again. I'll be showing you in a quarter here. So we're just going to fill in all of these on the same level first of all. Then we're going to be filling one on each of the sections just sticking out, and then filling in these 3 diagonal blocks as well. So we'll do that all the way around, and that'll give us a flat surface again to start building up from. At this point, I've turned the render distance right down so it's easier to see where I'm placing the blocks here. And for the next quarter, what we're going to do is we're going to build out 2 blocks here and 2 blocks here, and then repeat this on the other side. 2 blocks, then 2 blocks. Then on the outside of this, we are going to place a slab, and that'll be a smooth quartz slab, on each of these 2 edges. Next, we're going to build up a quartz block here and a block touching on this side, and do the same here. So we've got 1 quartz block and a block touching. And now we're going to use some temporary blocks in order to just make sure we've got some blocks touching the edge of the glass that we've got here. So we're not wasting any glass here, we're using the minimum amount. And then 1 more temporary block here to fill this in like so. Once you've completed that all the way around, the next step is going to be a smooth quartz block on each side here with a sea lantern on top of that, and a smooth quartz stair aimed outwards. And then we're going to move to the glass, and we're going to go 1, 2 out here and 2 out here, then 2 more and 2 more, and then we're going to repeat on top of that just to fill that in so it's too high. So yeah, again, work from this pillar round to this pillar all the way round for all of the quarters. We're at the next floor level now, and we're going to start this with a smooth quartz and an upside down stair like this. Then we're going to have another smooth quartz here, and we're going to do the same here. So we've got a quartz here, stair, and then a quartz touching it like so. We're then going to have some of the glass, so glass coming out like this, and glass coming out like this, with 1 on each of the edges like that. Now connecting up in the middle, we're going to be using some of the orange stained glass now to bring us to this center point where there's going to be sea lantern, and we'll bring that out on the other quarter side as well. And then we're simply going to fill in this entire space with some more of the smooth quartz. You can use some slabs if you want to save yourself some quartz at this point, but I'm just using full blocks to keep it all consistent. For the next level, we are going to place a smooth quartz block here, here, and here. On the back of this, we're going to be using some waxed cut copper stairs, so we'll do the same on these 2 sides. Now I'm showing you just a little bit more than the quarter. This obviously we go around to the next quarter. And then on this, we're going to connect up 3 glass coming out from either of these 2 sides. And then we've got 1 temporary block so that we can place a glass just here and fill that round. This is the point where the pinnacles would be starting that move out on each of the 4 cardinal directions. However, I'm going to be building those later. So for now, we're going to place a block of copper here. We're going to place a smooth quartz on each side of that, on both these sides. So we'll just do this one as well. And then we are going to have some glass. So we've got 2 glass coming here with 2 glass here. 2 sticking out from here with 2 on top, with just 1 in the middle like so. Next we're going to have 2 glass here with a glass on the corner here. We're then going to have a smooth quartz here and here with a sea lantern in the center block. So we'll do that on the other side as well. So you start with 2 glass there and a glass here. Smooth quartz around this corner with a sea lantern in the middle. And now we're going to fill in with the glass. So we're going to come out 1, 2, 3 like this, and 1, 2, 3 here, which will connect up. Now moving up to the next level as well, we're going to start with a smooth quartz block here. We're going to have a sea lantern and then smooth quartz on top of these 2 blocks. Then a block here of glass and then blocks coming through. The only difference being on this corner block, we're going to have cyan terracotta. So on the other side again, we've got smooth quartz there, a sea lantern at the back, smooth quartz again here and here, with glass filling in the gap, and then glass just filling in between like so. Firstly, we're going to be placing a glass block here and a glass block here with an upside down stair of the copper on each side. Now we're going to be using some of the orange stained glass to connect up, because we're going to be building another floor on this level, and we're going to use a sea lantern in the middle and connect up the stained glass right the way to the edge and on top of this sea lantern here. Then we're going to be using some of the quartz. We're going to bring the quartz out like this on top, and then next to this quartz block, so we're creating a 4 diagonal of the cyan terracotta. We're going to bring it out like so here. Next, all we need to do is fill in the rest of the floor with the smooth quartz. Now we're going to add some walls to this section, and we're going to start by placing 3 of the cyan terracotta up on these 2 sides. Next we're going to move to the quartz, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 quartz in this S shape on each side, so coming out around this corner, and that will be so we can place a sea lantern here and here, and then we're going to fill the rest of the 2 blocks in with some of the cyan terracotta before finishing off with a line of the quartz just going around on top. We're now at the stage with these walls in place that we're going to start curving everything back over, and we're simply going to be doing everything that we did previously in reverse. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place these 4 of the cyan terracotta. We're then also going to build out this section just like so to here, and we're going to add our glass going through the middle until we get to the center point just like this with the sea lantern, and then complete this round like so to 1 more, and do the same on this other section here. So this entire side, I won't show you this time, we're then simply going to fill in this space with the smooth quartz blocks and do the same in each of these other quadrants. For this layer, we're going to start with the 2 cyan terracotta that are going to go here. Next, we're going to come to each side. I'm going to place 2 sea lanterns with 2 quartz blocks here, 2 quartz blocks here, and then a upside down, a right way up copper stair just on this side. So on the other side, we've got the 2 sea lanterns, quartz here with the stair just like so. In here, we're going to have a single block of quartz and surround this by glass, and do the same on this side as well. So quartz and then glass around it, and then we get to the remainder of the glass. So the way that we're going to deal with this is we're going to have 2 glass here and then a glass there. Same here, 2 glass like so. And then we're just going to go a final layer of glass right the way over the top like this, and we'll repeat this all the way around. Next, we're going to start with some waxed copper here and here with a piece of smooth quartz next to that on each side. We're going to have a line of 3 glass coming out from there to the edge, and then we're going to have a glass here and a glass here with a temporary block and a piece of glass in the middle. First, we're going to start with some waxed copper stairs on each of these sides, and in front of those we're going to put some of the smooth quartz going across like this. On that side like so. What we're going to then do is we are going to run 3 glass coming out from each of these pillars and 1 glass here on top like this, and we're going to repeat that round the other sides. Now we have the final floor for this ovoid section, and we're going to start by placing some stairs on these bits here to bring this in. Then we have our smooth quartz in the middle, and bring some of the glass out until we get to the center, and then we bring out our sea lantern into the middle like this. If I could count, that would help, but there we go, there's the sea lantern in here. Now we're going to bring in some of the quartz on either side like this, and then we're going to bring our glass along to here, and then it's going to come in. So I'm just going to use that as a temporary block on both these sides, and that's the edge for your glass, and we're going to fill in the entire middle with some of the smooth quartz blocks again. Next levels are going to start with a sea lantern on the end glass block, with a stair going into that and a quartz block on top. So that's quartz on top with the stair going into it like so. Then we're going to run the glass along, and we're going to have 2 lines of 2 with the glass here and here, and we're going to do the same on this side, so 2 lines of glass here and here as well. So we'll continue that all the way around. Now we're going to put on a quartz block on each of these sides with a smooth quartz slab on top of that, and we're going to work on the glass going around. So we're going to have 2 glass coming out from this direction here with 1 either side, and then we're going to use a temporary block to put the glass in the middle like this. Now we're going to take the glass and we're going to run it around the inside of the build to connect up these 2 sections. So firstly, we'll put the glass on here, and then using some temporary blocks, we are going to bring the glass so it's just touching the corner on these 2 sides. So you'll need 2 temporary blocks, and then you can bring these together and get rid of those blocks themselves. Now we're going to have a layer of glass coming across the build, so we're going to have that starting with these 2 points, and we're going to come in from these 2 points and come across to this level here, so 2 more blocks on top of that. We're then going to bring this round and in, so it's just touching on the corners here, and we'll bring this to the center point, and once we come to the center point, we'll place a sea lantern in here and just fill in the rest of the glass all the way across, just like so. The final bit for this section, we are going to bring 3 of the glass across like this, and then connect up diagonally like so. We're then going to bring in another line of glass just inside that with 1 more block in the middle, and we are now going to use a temporary block to bring this in, and what that's going to allow us to do is to create the cross that we had before, but with our sea lantern in the middle again. So we're just going to bring it so everything is touching on the edges like so. Now on top of this, we are going to place ourselves a lightning rod. Before you've done all of the sides, it's worth doing this, because what we want to do is create a temporary block, because the lightning rod needs to be placed against that so that it's got the right orientation, i.e. the bobble at the bottom. So once you've done that, fill the rest of this in and you've finished the ovoid. We're now going to work on the entranceways to this section. I'm going to show you on one side, just repeat this on each of the other sides. First of all, we're going to take some sea lanterns and we're going to come out 5 of these, both beneath and on top. So we've got these 5. We're then going to place some clear stained glass going out level with this, which is going to be on top and beneath again. And then we're going to surround this on the 2 sides, both below and above, with the quartz. With those first 4 walkways done, we're going to carry these on, and we're going to do that by placing 3 quartz blocks and then 3 glass blocks like so, with 3 more quartz blocks coming out like this. We'll do the same just above as well, so 3 quartz, 3 glass and 3 more quartz, and I'll also do this on the other side and then each of the other areas. What we're then going to do is bring some quartz out along and round, and at the top to do the same, and then add some sea lanterns, 1 sea lantern here and 1 sea lantern here, and fill in the gaps with the cyan terracotta, just like so. So as I say, do this on the other side as well, and then do that all the way around the build. Now we are going to do the slightly tricky section of creating the circles around the edge of this base. We're going to do that by placing some temporary blocks firstly, so we're going to place 2 temporary blocks here, and then we're going to place a sea lantern against that, then 2 cyan terracotta, we've got a temporary block here, and then we've got a cyan terracotta and a sea lantern, then we've got another temporary block and a cyan terracotta, a temporary block, a cyan terracotta, so this is curving round, and then we've got another temporary block, and this time we're reversing it, we've got a sea lantern, and coming out this way a cyan terracotta, 1 more temporary block here, And as you'll see, this brings us to the point where we've got those 2 cyan and a terracotta going, and a sea lantern rather, going around like this. So this will then carry on around the build. So I'll show you again. You've got the 2 coming out with the temporary block, then we've got a block and a sea lantern, and so on and so forth. We'll carry this pattern on all the way round the build itself until we reach up to and link up with the section over here. Now we've got all of the circles in place, it allows us to start on the framework. So the first thing we're going to do is build downwards and round, and then we're going to build upwards and over, and this is going to allow us to create a framework for the spheres, which will make them a lot easier to create. Now if you're building this in survival, it's probably worth setting up a platform beneath this, quite a few blocks beneath, and working up from the platform there, or making sure that you've got an elytra close at hand, or lots of water buckets on the floor just so you don't die. Now we're going to be using the glass, and we're going to be coming down 2 blocks with the glass, then using a temporary block and coming down 2 further blocks with the glass like so. Then we're going to come in with 1 block and down underneath that, and then we're going to do the same again with a block and then a piece of glass, and then 1 more temporary block, and this time we're going to come across 2 blocks, and here we're going to come 1 more temporary block down, and this time we're going to place 2 of the glass and 1 sea lantern like so. We're then going to do exactly the same the other way, so it connects up and on each of the 4 sides, and that'll give you a basic framework for this, and we can take out the temporary blocks once we've done that. With the bottom structure in place, we are going to do exactly the same but over the top. So let's just pick a side, and we'll pick this side, and we're going to go up 2, and then we're going to place a temporary block, up 2 again, place another temporary block, up 1, temporary block, up 1, temporary block, across 2 into the middle, 1 last temporary block, and then 2 more stained glass with a sea lantern, and that sea lantern should now be, if we've done it right, exactly over the center. So do that on all of the sides, and then you'll get this sphere that's split into 8 individual sections. Now we have the frameworks of each of these spheres in place, I'm going to run through the patterns that you're going to follow in each of these sectors and in each of these spheres. So each thing that I show you, you will do in each of the 8 sections here, so the top 4 and the bottom 4, and then repeat that on each of the other spheres as well. So the first thing we're going to do is simply we're going to add 3 to each of the corners like this, and we're also going to do that in the top in the center. So repeat that all the way round in all of these ones. So for example here you'd need to flip it, so you've just got 3 coming down here, and then 3 in the bottom, and 3 up in this side as well. Now we've done that first pattern all the way around, we are going to expand on that with the second pattern, and the second pattern we are going to place is we're going to go up 2 by 2 on each of these sides like this, with 1 block here and 1 block here, just like that. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 1, 2 with a block here and a block on the inside, and then we're going to go 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, a block here, and a block on the inside. For stage 3, we are going to come up here, and we're simply going to follow the edge of these blocks. So we're going to come along and make sure that we always have a corner touching. And when we do that on this side, it's going to bring us up and bring that together, closing that gap off. And then the last one that we're going to do is round the top here, again just going back and forth, making sure that this connects up. And that will just leave us with this little triangle left once we've repeated that all the way round. Once you've filled in all of those patterns all the way around, you'll have something that looks like this surrounding you. And now we just need to fill in these little gaps, and this is done by placing some temporary blocks and using the glass to just simply fill in this corner section before getting rid of those temporary blocks, and repeating that on all of the other 7 holes that you've got here, and then repeating that on all of the other 3 spheres. With all the spheres in place, we are going to start putting some floors in and connecting these up. So the first thing that we're going to do on each side that connects, we are going to fill in just the corner blocks of this glass here. And then once we go inside this, we're going to take out a 3x3 hole that's going to allow us to get into the sphere on each side. So we're going to do that on all of these spheres so they can all theoretically connect through. With all the spheres in place, we are going to start putting some floors in and connecting these up. So the first thing that we're going to do on each side that connects, we are going to fill in just the corner blocks of this glass here. And then once we go inside this, we're going to take out a 3x3 hole that's going to allow us to get into the sphere on each side. So we're going to do that on all of these spheres so they can all theoretically connect through. I'm inside one of the spheres now, and for each of these they're going to have 3 floors as well, and I'll show you where these floors are going to go. I'm just going to be using the smooth quartz slabs for these because it gives a little bit more headroom. And the first one is going to be not on this first level but on this second level, so we're just going to add in a line or a level of these smooth quartz slabs coming through. And once we get to this middle piece, we're going to also have a sea lantern in the middle, which will give all of the lighting that we actually need to keep this entire thing mob proof. Now on the next floor, the first thing we're going to do is take out some of the blocks. So we're going to take out these blocks and replace these with some full quartz blocks just coming across, just to mean that you get a continuous floor. We're also going to take out these 2 on either side, so I'll do that again to show you on the other side. We've got 3 blocks here and then these 2 corner blocks. Now once you've put those in place, we're going to fill in these with the full blocks, and everything else, just for a bit more headroom, is going to be using the smooth quartz slabs and just running these across like so. And this is going to go all the way around. And again, once we get to the middle like so, we are going to have another sea lantern in the middle, which again should provide enough lighting to keep all of this, particularly given that we've got some sea lanterns in the edge to keep all of this spawn proof. The final one that we're going to do is going to be just above this door, and we're going to be running some of the smooth quartz slabs from underneath this lintel like so, and this is going to come out right the way through the build as well, and that will be the level that this will then connect up on. And again, we're going to fill all of these in, and you guessed it, we are going to have ourselves a sea lantern in the middle again. So from underneath you'll just see this sea lantern sticking out on each of these levels, but we're going to fill in all of these floors in all of these spheres. Next we're going to start building the pinnacles that come out of the sides of the sky base, and we're going to do this by coming into this gap between the ovoid and the sphere and coming down here. And the first thing we're going to do is place 2 sea lanterns connecting up from this particular section level with the cyan terracotta. Then we are going to place a smooth quartz here and here to fill the gap, and then we are going to come and fill this in on the bottom and this in on the top in between. So you've got this gap here with the sea lanterns exposed, and we're just going to fill that in with some of the orange glass. Then underneath we are going to bring our waxed cut copper stairs out and across to this point here where we get to the end, and we're going to do the same on the top here as well. So we're just going to bring these across up on top of the glass as well. So from the glass on the underside you'll get a nice view of the copper through, and we're going to do that on both the sides of each of these sections all the way around. Next we're going to deal with these big gaps that we've got in here, and we're going to start by taking our smooth quartz out until we get to this point where we're level with the orange stained glass, and we're going to bring 1 further block out. So that's going to be 2 blocks here and us filling in the gap in between, and we're going to do that both above and beneath. So this one's going to come out again here, and then on the other side we're going to bring it out and across and through like so. In the spaces that we've left we're going to place sea lanterns just like that. Now we're going to build up the walls, so that's going to come out with 3 of the quartz on the top and on the bottom like this, with a 3 wide gap here, and lastly we're going to fill in a couple of sea lanterns here and here with some cyan terracotta, just filling in the spaces. We're now going to continue this pinnacle out, and I'm going to show you on the top and then we'll flip it and do the same on the bottom. So we're going to have 3 of the smooth quartz coming out here. First of all, we're going to have a sea lantern here and a sea lantern in this little gap underneath on both of these sides, like so. Now we're going to bring out some of the smooth quartz itself right the way so it comes on top of the blocks that we just placed here, and we're going to do that on both the sides like this. We're then going to go 1 2 3 1 2 3 of the smooth quartz with a quartz stair like so. And now we're going to switch to using some of the copper stairs and place a copper stair here and here, and then some acacia trapdoors are going to fill in that gap of 3 and that gap of 2. And then, as I say, we're going to repeat that underneath. I'll just show you quickly how we would do that. So first of all, we'd go 1 2 3 1 2 3 here. We would get ourselves an additional sea lantern here and a sea lantern in this gap and in this gap, and then we simply connect up with the quartz just beneath these stairs. So this is going to come right the way across like so on both the sides before we switch to the copper and the acacia. So we've got the copper stairs here, and acacia trapdoors here and here, here, here and here. In case you're wondering what these trapdoors are, this is a texture pack for futuristic builds that I've been working on, and yeah, it'll be available to you very soon, but this will work really, really well just with the normal textures too. Now we're going to continue to build out from this entrance with 3 sea lanterns above and 3 sea lanterns below, 2 on each of the sides, and then we're going to connect up the sea lanterns in the middle with an extra sea lantern coming out to the sides like this. We're then going to take some glass and we're going to fill this in with the orange stained glass this time to bring this out like so on the top and the bottom. And once we've done that glass, what we're going to do is place a single piece of quartz in each of these junctions. Next, we are going to take some stairs and we're going to place a stair facing this way, and we are also going to place a stair, and this one's a little bit tricky, on this side. You might want to put a temporary block just so you've got something to place against more easily, like this. So you've got the 2 stairs coming into each other. I'll show you again down here. So here we've got a stair that is just sticking out like so, and on this side we will have a temporary block and a stair that is that way round. So you've got this little pattern going round so you can kind of see in through these gaps. I'm going to do that on the other side as well, and that will look just like this. Now complete this round all of the other entranceways. Now we're going to build out the pinnacle more with some more sea lanterns. So we're going to place 2 on each side like this. We're then going to place ourselves a temporary block that can be anything. I'll just use some grey concrete in the middle, and we're going to go out 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 sea lanterns here, and this is then the structure that we can build the rest of the pinnacle on. We're now going to add some quartz to the build. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'll just show you on one side but do this on both sides and all the way around, is we're going to bring our smooth quartz blocks out 1 block past our sea lantern. So we're going to have that out on both sides like so. Then against the back here, underneath and above the sea lantern level, and then next to the sea lantern level here and here as well, we're going to build out 2 blocks, and then we're going to bring these out level with the stairs. So we're going to go 1 2 3 all the way across like so. Once we've done that, next to these stairs we're going to go 1 2 3 blocks, 1 2 3 1 2 3 here, and finally 1 2 3 here. Next we're going to do some work with some stairs. So first of all we're going to put a smooth quartz block here with a stair on either side of it, and then a wax cut copper stair in just in the little gap here. We'll do the same down here, and everything that we do above is going to be mirrored down beneath, and then obviously do the same for both of the sides. We're then going to have a upside down stair here and an upside down stair on the bottom, and then that's going to be mirrored here, right way up stair here and here. then 2 stairs there, 2 right way upstairs here, and then upside down stairs just beneath. Then next to this edge, again, we've got 2 stairs coming out like so, 2 stairs coming out like so, 2 more here, 2 more here, and lastly we're going to put 2 stairs on the end and 2 stairs on the end like this. And that gives us the lovely sweeping shape that we want. So repeat that on the other side and all the way around. Now we're going to add the finishing touches to the pinnacle, and I'm going to show you here, and I'm going to show you on the top and on one side. Do the same but mirrored on the bottom and on the other side. So the first thing we're going to do is on the top, and this will be done on the bottom, is place a couple of stairs, and these are the copper stairs, and we're then going to fill in the gaps with some of these acacia trapdoors coming through the build, just right the way to the end of the sea lantern section like so. Around the sides we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to place ourselves some orange stained glass panes, and these are going to go right the way along, just running parallel with these sea lanterns all the way to the end. And we're actually going to come out 1 block further, because we're going to place a full stained glass block on the end of this here. We're then going to place ourselves some of these end rods on the very end of this, and the final thing that we're going to do on this particular section is start running some of these lightning rods. So what we're going to do is we're going to be placing these coming out of the build like this. Now you can place them like this, or if you wish you can alternate them back and forth. It gives a bit more of a nice sort of design if you do that. That would be my chosen one. But yeah, fill those lightning rods in on each of the sides, fill in all of the glass, all of the trapdoors and all of the stairs, and then we just need to work out on some entrances. Final thing that we need is obviously going to be some entrances. So we're going to put 2 onto each of these spheres. And let's start with this one. First thing we're going to do is knock out a 3x3 space, and this is going to be the actual entrance. Then beneath that we're going to take out 1 block, place a sea lantern with some copper either side, and we're going to do the same all the way around. So each of the middle blocks is going to be a sea lantern here, and then we're going to surround that with some copper on all sides, and that'll make it nice and easy to see where the actual entrances are for each of these sides. Well, once you've done that, we're just going to add an extra piece of glass just to tie that into the build itself. So we're going to do that here, we're going to do that on the other side. On the top and the bottom, we're not actually going to create entrances. You could on the top if you wished, but what we're actually going to do is just replicate the same pattern, but with the glass still in the middle, just so it does look similar from whichever direction you're coming from. And then we'll just add in the copper going around like this as an inlay rather than an actual entrance. So there you go, we'll pop that round, and then we'll put the glass in that, Mr. Copper block here. And once you've done that on each of these, then your build is finished. And I've just been through and added in some ladders. Again, these are ladders from the Futuristic texture pack that I'm going to be using. And I've also added in a bubble elevator through the middle section to show that you can use any of the methods to get up or down inside your build. And when you're in here, the views look absolutely fantastic. And I've just used some powdered snow, which is a great way to transition between floors. And yeah, from the very bottom of your base, you can see the surroundings, and it all looks amazing. Thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like and leave a comment. Also, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future builds. And I will see you all next time on ADcraft. Bye!